You feel this nervousness on the phone there?
Sir, I've been trying to make an urgent phone call up there.
Well, I don't think it's something I want to do on an overseas phone.
You gotta make some phone calls. Hang up the phone. Prank caller.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Packernet After Dark. This is the call-in show of the Packernet Podcast Network. If you'd like to call in, if you'd like to participate in the show, please feel free to do so. The phone number here is 608-501-0718. New callers go directly to the front of the line. We don't have any new callers, but we got Beer Cheese Benny. Give me 1 second, make sure this thing is all set up right. Beer Cheese, what's going on?
Hey, I'm Beer Cheese Benny again. I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking about all the excuses that everyone makes for the Packers and why they're not good, or like whenever we win, it's always an excuse as to why we won. Never give us credit, man. Well, what's the excuse going to be after week one, after we beat the Lions' asses at Lambeau Field, week one? What's it going to be, brothers and sisters? What's it going to be? Nothing, because we're just a better freaking team. We need to go out there. All right, Matthew Golden needs to get his freaking touchdown. Josh Jacobs needs to run all over those MFers. And Jordan Love just needs to be decent. Defense, take care of it. Break Jared Goff's neck.
Oh.
And I don't want to hear this, no, Gibbs is just going to run over the middle. No, he's not. We're going to freaking mess him up. We're going to make him scared to run. Dan Campbell, you know what he's going to do after the game? He's going to have to go to Applebee's and look over the menu like he does in the freaking commercials. Because that's all he's going to be doing at one point in the game, is just looking at the Applebee's menu. Like, I don't know what to call. The Packers are just so good. So, let's freaking get it. I'm tired of the excuses. No excuses this year. Super Bowl, baby.
I agree with 70% of that. So we're on the same page there, Beer Cheese.
Hey, Ryan. It's number one Bears fan giving you a call. Happy Labor Day. I wanted to talk to you about that Micah Parsons trade. Looks like he's got a little back injury. You could have done what we did over here and traded for Jim Smith and Timmy Bobbleson. Those were the guys to pick up this off season. Okay. I think we were successful in that.
Yeah.
So I think you guys got fleeced. Okay. Happy Labor Day there, Ryan.
That's a pretty good Chicago accent. I think you got fleeced. Okay. Yeah, have a good day. Do you know how great it would be to be a really good team and be the best team in the NFC North again? Do you know how good that's going to feel? Just to look at the Lions fans and say, I hope you had fun, you little scumbags. I hope you enjoyed it. You Kirby Joseph curb-stomping jagoffs. You knee-biting douchebags. I hope you enjoyed your 2 years of being marginally better than the other teams in your division, but doing nothing with it. I hope that was so much fun for you, because you're not getting this back. It's not getting back. It's not coming back. Everybody on our team is 14 years old. Okay? That's it. You're done. It's over. Vikings, shut up. You can play that game where you guys figure out who's number 2. And you guys sort it out. Best of luck. Chicago is just you pieces of trash. You pieces of trash. I want you to see it, and I want you to watch it, and I want you to suffer. Okay? Suffer. And I mean, listen, a great season, winning the division, it does all those things. Getting somewhere in the playoffs, getting to the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl is the ultimate. I said it before. I think when the Packers beat the Bears in the NFC North and then went on to win the Super Bowl, it broke the Bears. The Bears used to be the Cowboys. This is our year. This is our year. This is our year. Right? Every year they had these stupid frickin' reasons to believe. And then they died. Aaron Rodgers murdered them. And they didn't exist. And they were quiet. And they kind of just took it. They were like Lions fans for a little while. They're like, yeah, we suck. Shut up. I don't care. Right? Lions fans are a little different. They support their team, but they were pretty quiet, at least for everybody outside of the Detroit region. Bears fans, they're like, I don't really care. I root for the friggin' Chiefs now, so I don't even care. Now they come charging back because Justin Fields revived them. Trubisky kind of was like, oh, what, we got a quarterback? And then they drafted Trubisky, and they're like, oh, I don't really like that guy. And they didn't really like him, and he wasn't really good. But then Fields just did something to them, and they've not been good one time since they drafted Justin Fields, but they have been on this weird, psychotic sort of like, we're going to be so good. And I want that to die again. I want all of them not to die physically or emotionally or any kind of actually pretty bad kind of ways. I want them to be broken as a fan, to just recognize, I hate the Packers, but I can't say anything anymore. I don't care. They're better. We suck. Just nihilistic. What does it matter anymore? Who even cares? What even is life? That's what we got to get back to.
Hey, Ryan, Beer Chief Benny here.
Hey.
Just got off of work. What's up, y'all?
What's up?
I know you've had probably like 60 calls to go through, but I'm going to call again.
Quite a few.
To tell you something that's really pissing me off.
Okay.
And it's that everybody and their mother was like, wanted their team to get Micah Parsons. Like, yes, oh my gosh, go get him. But the Cowboys are going to be so stupid to get rid of him, then just go get him. And now the Packers get him, and it's like, oh, that's an overpay. Oh, he freaking gave up too much. Oh, he's not even that good anyway.
Right.
Oh, he's hurt. Even though I've seen...
The best part about this, though, is pending, again, any kind of injury or anything, this one is something that they can only say for a little while. He's just too good. I mean, it's kind of like, they talk trash about Jordan, and you're like, if he goes out and throws a pick, it's going to be another week of talking trash, even if we win the game. If he has a couple bad plays, if he's kind of there's going to be a debatable, like, no. Micah Parsons is not a debatable type of person. He is just a force of nature. So they're only going to be able to talk for a very short period of time, and then they're going to have to move on to something else. They can make fun of Jordan or Golden or somebody else that isn't quite good or made a mistake or dropped a pass or fumbled a ball. This is not one I'm super worried about because, talk trash about this guy at your own risk.
Freaking doctors, I don't know what doctor it was, but he was like, seeing the practice video of him, like, yeah, if it was a concern, he definitely wouldn't be able to do that with what they're saying he has. So he's totally fine. And I'm just so tired of it, man. Don't switch up now. Don't switch up now, Bears fans and all that. Y'all wanted him. And now that he's on our team, oh, he's no good. He's no good. He's terrible. I mean, this is just so stupid, man. Come on.
It's also going to be a fantastic receipt pull. I mean, think about it. Micah Parsons is dominant. You go find a tweet from a Bears fan or a Lions fan, that one guy with the Lions video or whatever, and you put it out there and you just say, this is why you guys suck at football all the time. You thought Micah Parsons was not that good? No wonder you never win anything, you bunch of losers. Nobody knows less about football than you people. People that say this kind of stuff. After his first 3-sack game that he just tears everything apart and he gets a strip sack, fumble, recovery, touchdown, all that stuff. When that first time that happens, go pull all the receipts and say, see, this is why. This is why. You look at guys like Ryan Poles and all their moves and go, that's brilliant. And then you look at Brian Gutekunst's moves, transformational moves, and you go, that was stupid. This is why you're all stupid from the top down. Your owner, your president, your GM, your coaches, and especially your fans. You're all kind of stupid. And that's just the way it is, I guess.
But, anyways, I'm just sick of it, man. Football world is going to be proven wrong. All the national media outlets. And, but really, I think Mike is definitely going to be on a snap count.
Yeah.
I don't think he gets more than 40 snaps, really.
It's a decent
Sunday.
chunk, 40, I think.
But I almost would love to see us be on the field on defense first. And then get the ball in the second half. See what we're really made of. Freaking stop them. Hopefully Micah Parsons gets in there, gets a sack. Or just absolutely stuffs. But Oh, you know what, dude? I hope that they try to run up the middle, and then they're like, oh, Packers don't have Kenny Clark. They can't defend the middle. And then it just proves to be stupid. Stupid
Kenny
scheme.
was... Well,
and all the other guys step up. They're able to stop the run. And I hope that our corners are just on them. Everyone talk about how bad our corner room. I hope they just freaking get a bunch of interceptions. That'll be awesome. But anyways, I'll see you later.
we'll see, man. It'll be interesting, and I'm not going to sit here and talk too much trash because, again, I think that the Lions are a good football team. I do think that there are a lot. I would be much more nervous if we're talking regression. Much more nervous about Detroit. I mean, everybody added, so everybody did all the amazing things. But it's actually on tomorrow's podcast that I talk about pretty in depth. But you look at the interior of that offensive line, you've got, it's not even 3 question marks. It's one guy that sucks, replacing like a Pro Bowler at center. Then you have 2 unknowns at guard. One guy basically has not played. He played 1 full game. He had like a 90-some-odd grade, which is great, but he played like 1 full game, and they didn't play him in the preseason either this year or last year. I have no idea why. Maybe injury was a part of it. This year, they just didn't even let the starters play at all. So this guy has 1 game in his belt. That's their left guard. The center is bad, and the right guard is a rookie who played a handful of snaps and was graded in the 60s. And that's in the preseason, obviously. So, Policy's perspective is out. I kind of want to read that. I'm interested to get to know Mr. Policy. Yeah, that to me, forget the coordinator stuff. That's, maybe we'll see kind of thing. Your identity is trenches, and your defensive tackles are out. Yes, you got Aiden Hutchinson back, who's still recovering, but he's back. Your 2 defensive tackles are out. You don't have another edge rusher on the other side, really, which you have had in the past. And now your offensive line, which is really, really the key to your team, you might be down 3 guys on the interior. I mean, people are still out there talking about this is one of the best offensive lines in football. How do you know that? Are you just saying that because of last year? What are you talking about? And their left tackle is an older guy. He's decent, but he's an older guy that's already taking veteran rest days, who's probably going to be seeing Micah Parsons most of the day. If that's my guess. I think Rashawn will be over on the Penei Sewell side. Could be wrong. I'm sure it's going to be a mix of everything, but that's just kind of how I'm thinking about it. But yeah, I would be a little more concerned if I was them than the Packers.
Hey Ryan, TJ from Alabama. And just listening to, Packernet After Dark, where you're starting to get into the Micah Parsons stuff. And I realize where we are. This Tuesday, Lions game coming up, which is obviously really important, really going to be fun. Hopefully Micah plays some, 20, 25 snaps or something, so we start getting that taste. But it was fun because it's reliving Thursday and just the joy and the what the hell just happened aspect of it and all that other stuff. It still hasn't sunk in, but it's starting to sink in. But listen from Chris from Alabama and a couple of others talking about it, and then reliving that day, and I forgot who reported it, but somebody reported it, doesn't really matter who, that the Packers initially offered like Rashawn Gary at 2 firsts, and then Lucas Van Ness in 2 firsts, or maybe Lucas Van Ness first and Rashawn Gary second. And I could just see, and then it ended up being Kenny Clark because Dallas wanted Kenny Clark, to bolster the run. And in my head, what I'm seeing, I'm going to exaggerate it, but, that's what I do, is I could see Gutekunst and Russ Ball or whoever Gutekunst is talking to, and they're talking to Dallas, they're talking to Jarrah. And they say, all right, Jarrah, we'll give you. We really want Micah, so we're gonna give you 2 firsts and Rashawn Gary. And Jerry says, "Nah, I gotta call you back. That's not gonna work." And they say, "All right, how about 2 firsts and Lucas Van Ness? Is that gonna work?" And he said, "Nah, I can't do that. Coming back." And then Jerry calls back, and Jerry says, "I want 2 firsts and Kenny Clark." And the Packers never offered Kenny Clark. In my head, that's because the Packers are thinking, they ain't going to take some 30-year-old guy that we're going to cut in 3 months anyway. It's almost like Packers offered 2 firsts and a gold bar, and Jerry came back and said, "No, I don't want the gold bar. I want the ham sandwich. So give me 2 firsts and a ham sandwich, and we got a deal." And Gutekunst is looking at LaFleur saying, did I just hear that right? Yeah, we're good. Yeah, Jerry, you drive a hard bargain.
Yeah,
but we're
boy,
good.
oh boy, this
and no,
guy.
I'm not comparing Kenny Clark to a ham sandwich. He's much better than that. I love Kenny Clark. He's been great for us for 9 years. Well, not great, but
I don't know, dude. I've had some good ham sandwiches, and Kenny hasn't gotten a lot of sacks. But I get it. Yeah, I like Kenny too.
he's been very good for us for 9 years. I love Kenny's been great. But I just don't see it. I just don't see it that we offered Lucas Van Ness, and then we offered Rashawn Gary, and then Jerry said, nah, it doesn't get done without Kenny, and then we give up. I don't see it happening that way. All right, go Pack, go. Thanks, Ryan.
But yeah, I haven't heard that either. I would have to, I guess, look around a little bit because it does matter. First of all, because you don't want to have Van Ness and Rashawn hearing that story that they were being dealt. That's not going to be great. You know, you obviously, not that the team did anything wrong, just that you ideally don't want those things getting out. Also sucks to think that, you know, that was, I don't know. I hope that story is not true, I guess. But if it is, I 100% agree with you. They were offering way more. And yeah, Dallas is like, I don't know, man. I mean, Rashawn's okay. He's a decent run defender, I guess. We really need to get better against the run. And it's just like, I mean, offer Kenny, see what happens. Just tell him, like, look, I hate to do this, but we got, you know, obviously our All-Pro, we'll just make stuff up, 4-time All-Pro, multiple-time Pro Bowl, run-stuffing phenom Kenny Clark. I'd rather, you know, I mean, if we could do like a first, a second in Kenny, that would make me feel a little bit more comfortable. But, you know, would that possibly move the needle? And he's like, look, I think Kenny could be the guy, but I want the 2 first too. It's like, oh, man. And the whole time, everybody in the room is just giggling and trying not to laugh, and he's trying not to break. And it's like, oh, geez. You old shiesty bastard. Oh, you got me. I'd fly out there and give you a handshake. Could do the old spit shake, you know, like the good old days. But, you know, these lawyers, so I'll fax you something. You get it signed and back to me, okay, Jarrah? Somebody get downstairs, pack Kenny's crap now. Okay, let's take a break. We got a lot more to get through, but there's a couple Jersey mics, so I figure why split them up. We'll be right back.
Hey, Ryan, it's Jersey Mike.
Yo.
So, this is before the Lions game, obviously. It's like Wednesday. We're going to have football tomorrow. Cannot wait.
So
Hell
good.
yeah.
So good.
But I wanted to get my prediction in before the start of the season. So, I have 2 predictions. One is my personal prediction. The other is AI. All right.
Okay.
My prediction is we go 13.
By the way, there's so many things I'm upset that I didn't have done for this week. Things that I just thought of like today or yesterday. Is like, that's not enough time. Starting next week, I'd like to start doing it. Having running predictions, not a bad idea. So you've got obviously this, but I'm thinking even like scores for the week. We could have people call in. We'll get something going. We got to get something freaking going here. You know what I mean? But I want to have AI along for the ride just to see how they do. So I think I'm going to do that for the Packer game. I'll have my predictions, my score predictions, and then AI's score predictions. Maybe I'll try to put that on Packers games. You guys can log in, and all you got to do is put in your score prediction. Just as a place to do it, you know? I think it has to be done. All right, sorry. Please continue.
And 4. I think that's right. Yeah. Anyway, 13 and 4. All right. That's my prediction. The AI believes we go 15 and 2.
Dang.
All right. Now, the only things I done plugged into this AI to make it think anything was saying, assuming that Christian Watson comes back healthy, assuming that Jordan Love continues to play on par or if not better from last season. And assuming Micah Parsons just continues doing what Micah Parsons does, what is the record that this team walks out with? And surprisingly, the only two teams it has us losing to are the Bears and the Vikings late. And its reasoning for losing the Vikings game is that we sat a bunch of starters and the Vikings are playing just ruined seeding. But we still end up as the number one team in the NFC. I didn't plug anything else in. I didn't say nothing about cornerbacks being good or the linebackers being good. I said just keep on keeping on with 2024. Right? Let's see what that season extrapolated out to this season looks like. Just assuming those three things. And the AI's nuts. So 15-2 is what the AI says. I don't believe it. But it's possible. It is very, very possible. I know I'm excited about Parsons and whatnot, but that's truly the difference a guy like Parsons makes. So are we going to see him in Detroit? I'm going to say yes. And I'll call back real quick to explain that. Go back over.
All right. Can I just sneak one thing in here? Again, I don't enjoy being the wet blanket, but I don't know if I mentioned this. I watched a video. I think I did talk about this, but it's kind of just talking about a prediction as to how and why AI just gets completely out of control. A lot of it centers on the fact that AI's goal is to satisfy you, to sort of make you happy with the answer. And so a lot of AIs, like ChatGPT and stuff, especially, it's obnoxiously so, it remembers you. It's not impossible that it knows you're a diehard Packers fan because of all the stuff that you've told it already, and it's like, yeah, they're going to go undefeated, bro, for sure. Just throwing that out there. All right. I do have your prediction in here, Jersey Mike. It was 13-4, I believe. So we got Chris from Alabama, 12 wins. Jersey Mike, 13 wins. I'm not going to put the AI in there because actually, you know what? I was going to say I could just test it myself, but I don't know which one you used, and it's fine. I think I will do that, but it's going to be mine, right? Because everybody's going to get different results. So I'll go through and see what it has to say. In fact, I'll probably have it do a little write-up, and I'll save a link to it in case any of them are kind of accurate, if they end up, we'll see how accurate they are across the board. Jersey Mark Part 2. Jersey Mark.
So Micah Parsons with this whole back injury, man, even if it's true, let's assume that this is a pretty good strain on his L4, L5. Mm-hmm. All right. I've talked about it before. I've fallen off a roof. My L4, L5 discs are completely gone.
Yikes.
And I still play ball. I still run around. I still jump. I still lift. So the only thing that they could possibly argue is that he has some back pain. But bro, who doesn't have back pain?
Yeah.
That's part of being a human, right? Because we are bipedals and we stand upright, we put extra stress on our spine,
mm-hmm.
which is why we like to lay down all the time.
Yeah,
I mean,
feels so good.
Whatever. But so no, I'm not worried about Parsons playing that much. Due to this injury, putting him on the bench or whatever the heck it might be, that does not concern me. Honestly, I want to talk about the most concerning part of this team, and you're probably going to touch on it. It's going to be linebacker, specifically Quay and McDuffie.
Sure.
I really like Quay. I like Quay.
Mm-hmm.
I've been knocking beating the drum for Quay this whole time. And I truly think that Quay's biggest problem is going to be him just thinking way too damn much. It's always been his problem. If Quay just sees ball, gets ball, he works a lot better, right? And I think having Isaiah McDuffie back there with him is going to cause a problem. Quite frankly, Tyron Hopper and Edge are just light years ahead of athleticism compared to McDuffie. And when you give Quay two guys like that, that can just go chase the ball carrier down, you can kind of let Quay do what Quay does. Quay takes a little bit more time to process things, but he can come up with interceptions. The man can cover. The man can tackle. He's actually got a decent tackling grade. Make him that true middle linebacker. Make him do his middle linebacker things, or make him see ball, get ball. But we gotta define his role in this defense and really not expect him to do all of the work in the center there. We really need Coop and Hopper. I really do not like McDuffie being back there.
Sure.
I don't understand the reasoning for it. I don't understand the logic for it. McDuffie is like, he's just a solid dude, right? Like, you know he can cover. You know he can stop the run. How well he is at doing it is a completely different story, but he can do it. It's just, there's no real high ceiling. He's just got a real high floor. Cool. Sometimes you need those guys on your team. I don't think that kind of play is what gets us to the Super Bowl. I think a Hopper with more playing time does. Anyway, go back. Go.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'll say I agree with you in part. I'm one of the biggest things I'm excited for as linebacker. One of the things I'm most nervous for as linebacker in this matchup in particular. When everybody talks about Kenny, and you don't have Kenny, and so how are you going to stop the run? Everybody seems to forget that I think the run stopping has a lot to do with our linebackers. Our run stopping got a lot better last year, and it was not because Kenny just suddenly became really, really good. Edgerrin Cooper made a big difference. I think Quay Walker contributed to that. The linebacking group that we had did a fantastic job, along with the edge defensive tackle group and safeties and corners and everything else. So that excites me as a sort of stress reliever when it comes to, oh crap, if we can't stop the run, we're in trouble. They're the ones that I have some confidence in, above and beyond anybody else that's responsible for that. The pass game is where I get nervous, though, because especially with this, you come into the game, you say, okay, we're not going to hold on to the ball forever with Micah. We need to be able to run the ball. That may be a problem with the linebackers, hopefully. The only thing that I can see them doing with consistency is the thing that's been happening to the Packers for a while now. It happened pretty much all throughout the year, especially the second half of the year. And it happened a ton of the preseason. Not that necessarily, means anything. But it's just not great to see that continued problem, and that is just passing right over the middle of the field where the linebackers occupy. Now, Isaiah Simmons was a big part of that problem, and he's not going to be starting. But that needs to be cleaned up for sure, or they need some kind of a remedy for that. I don't know, maybe you change up your coverages, your safety responsibilities, your corner responsibilities. I don't really know. I'm not the defensive coordinator, but I know with a team like the Lions with Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown in particular, if you got a soft, squishy middle of the field there, they're going to do some damage. So I like the group a lot. It's a better linebacking group that, you could say whatever you want about Quay or McDuffie or Hopper. Obviously, Edgerrin is a stud. I don't think that's super debated at this point. When was the last time we had better linebackers, though? I mean, I think when we had, Blake Martinez and Jake Ryan for like a year, that was pretty good. Or I think they alternated. Like Jake Ryan was pretty good, and then Blake Martinez came in, and he was at least good against the run. That was okay. I don't think you can compare it to this. Obviously we had AJ Hawk, who was pretty decent. But I think he was, I wouldn't say he was by himself. It's been a long time since we've had linebackers, and you could say that's not necessarily a great thing, but in other words, spits in the face of Cole Skinner during USF rivalry game. What is with the spitting? Why is everybody spitting in people's faces? What the heck was I talking about? I'm excited and nervous, and yes, it's one of the better groups that we've had in a long time, and it might even be better than that. Quay is a big question mark. I think we all would acknowledge that he's supremely talented, athletic, and all that. I just think, like you're saying, we have to define that a little bit. We got to kind of maybe narrow down his responsibilities. I think he's fantastic at things like blitzing, and if he can shoot a gap, he's phenomenal. But it's just a matter of, let's not have him do too much, because I don't know that that's his strength. They seem to love him in that role. They want to give him the dot. They want to have him calling everything and doing everything, and I don't know, man. Whatever. Do what you got to do, I guess.
Hey, Ryan Jenner from California. The thing that bothers me so much is now everybody's coming out here and saying, oh, you're in cap hell forever. Oh, you're paying him this amount of money, and it's like you guys can't even get the basics right. And I don't know if you said it, but like yes, the extension part of his contract is 47, but they did the 5th-year option, so the total contract is 42.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about? Like that's the real number, and I'm okay with everybody and their mom believing that it's 47.
Your mom believes that.
Because the next guy is Hutchinson, right? So when he goes to get paid 47 and a half, I'll take that all day. But I want the real 47. I don't want you, and then I don't want everybody freaking out because they said about our guy getting money, but. Seriously, everybody's like all of a sudden they got all their BS points, and none of them are accurate or correct. They're all flawed.
100%.
I'm waiting for somebody to actually like make a good point, and when I put facts on the table, everybody's just like, "That's not true." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And then you show us like, "Well, the cap number is 5, 19, and 26 for the next 3 years. What do you have to say about that?" The response I got. So you just admitted that's $47 million. I'm like, I didn't even say that.
What?
I hate Bears fans and Lions fans and Vikings fans so much right now because none of them. They're all just like denial, lying to my face right now, and acting like I'm the crazy person for being excited about the best trade I've ever seen for a Hall of Fame potential caliber player. All-pro caliber player, and just the contract is so reasonable with how it's all structured. Yes, 2028, I believe, is the year. Wait, yeah, 2028, the numbers change, but that's 2028's problem. We got 3 years of this going forward, so we're going to go deal with that, for at least 3 years, and then we'll deal with this 2028 when we restructure, whatever, right? But I'm just tired of it. These guys are freaking gaslighting me, acting like the contract's crazy. And they haven't even posted a picture or gave me an actual, contract detail. So, frustrated.
They don't know. They haven't
Get out
looked.
of my face, Bears fans. Go Pack Go.
Another meme idea. Maybe you need AI for this unless you know of one. But it's a dude dancing in fire, right? Having a party like in hell. Something to that effect. And the caption is something to the effect of Packers fans in cap hell right now. Just partying. Just like, this is the best. I love cap hell. If this is cap hell, I love cap hell. Give me more cap hell. Hey, Bears fans, you should go get some of this cap hell. It's great. You're going to love it. You'd love it. Okay? See if you can find some.
Hey, Ryan, Steve up in Alaska. Hope everything's going well, which I'm sure it is, because everybody's still super excited about the whole Micah Parsons thing. Even by the time you get through the 100 phone calls and you get to this, if you get to this anytime before the next time we play. Just wanted to call in. Chris from Alabama's right. We need to put in our predictions. I was kind of thinking about it myself, and I'll tell you the honest truth. I'm usually pretty pessimistic when I figure out wins and losses for the season at the beginning of the season. But this whole Micah Parsons thing, man, it's got me way more optimistic than I've ever been about what we got going on. So I'm going to say we're going to get 13 wins. We'll be 13-4 at the end of the season. A couple of good wins. There's always that one or two losses where you go, how did we lose to that team? So there's always those in the season. Something else, I was listening to everybody talk about the trade compensation, and anybody that wants to say, 2 first-round picks, you guys got to give up 2 first-round picks, and Kenny Clark. Well, if you think about where we normally draft, if we wanted to move up to a position where you would get Micah Parsons, where he actually got picked up, we'd have to give up 2 first-round picks and more anyways to move up, because, our picks generally are at the bottom of the draft. So it's what we would have had to do in any circumstances to try to draft a guy. And then we have to hope he turns out and pans out and ends up being something. And here we got a guy that we know is something. So, yeah, it was just a great deal all around. But, yeah, that's what I want to do. I just want to get in my picks for the season, or my prediction for the season, I should say. 13-4. And I think we'll at least make the NFC Championship game. I think we got enough talent on the team, barring injuries, and all the other, who knows what can happen stuff. But if things go the way that they look, we should be pretty good. All right, man. You take it easy. I'm going into Costco to spend some money. Bye.
Well, Steve, it seems like we're all kind of on the same page here. Cautiously optimistic would be one way to put it. Certainly, there's a... again, I tend to agree that I don't think there's ever been such a thing as one player away. I don't think that really makes sense. I guess depending on what you mean, that could work. Like if we're one player away from being competitive and that player is a great quarterback. In other words, if we didn't have him, we wouldn't be, then sure. Pretty much every team in the NFL is one player away. Take away Mahomes, take away Lamar, take away Josh Allen. Yeah, they're all... But they have that one player, so I don't know what we're talking about. And again, there's no such thing as a player that guarantees you a Super Bowl, so I don't know what the middle ground is there. However, even though we're not really talking about one player away, there does seem to be a difference as to Micah Parsons getting us over some kind of a hump. There's a mental switch that took place. That's all I know. Did we take a second break? I don't know. There's been so many interruptions. Let's take a second break, and then we'll try to rip through these last 9 calls if we can. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Ryan, am I a diabolical Packers fan? Because every time anybody says it's a $47 million contract, I correct them and say 42, because if you look at the whole contract, that includes the 50-year option. The average per year would be 42, but it still doesn't matter because it's only a 5-year, $19 and $26 million cap hit the next 3 years, so who cares? And all these people are like, you're wrong. It's just like, it doesn't matter because they're not actually paying that on the cap. So does any of it really matter? Am I just being diabolical? It's 42 because you have to add that 5th year in, all right? It counts, $42 million. I want them to think it's 47, so Hutchinson gets that, but it's 42.
Right, and like I said, if the Packers go on to be successful, all you do is you turn around and say, boy, I love this cap hell. Gee, this is rough. And then next year when the Packers go into free agency and sign people, even if it's just their own players, that's all they need to do in order for people like you and I to go out there and go, that's weird. I thought we were going to have to cut everybody. Gee golly, what happened? Sounding like, what did that sound like? Will Ferrell's impression of Harry Carey. Good golly, what happened? Now I can't make it. Now I can't make the sounds.
Looking at the starting 5 offensive line we had, and I started looking around with PFF, started looking at the sacks given up, and I noticed something, so I just added it all up. The starting 5 for the Green Bay Packers, when you add it all up, combined, their careers, they've all only given up 28 sacks as a collective.
Okay.
And that is just an insane number for me because Elton Jenkins has been around for a good while. Tom, Banks, and Walker are all 3-4 year guys, right? So at least starting. So it's pretty cool thing I discovered. And then I also know another stat is the Bears had 28 sacks where the quarterback held the ball longer than 5 seconds. So the Packers offensive line historically, okay, their entire career of the starting 5 has given up the same amount of sacks that Caleb directly gave up last year. Because if you hold the ball for 5 seconds and get sacked, that's your fault. That's not the line's fault. That's all I got. Go Pack, go.
Yeah, that's correct. And that's all I got. Wayne, what do you got?
Hey, Ryan. It's Wayne from Illinois.
Hey.
It's been a while. So I thought since the new season's beginning, I should get going.
Heck yeah, man. Get in the game.
I wanted to give my record, my prediction for the record.
Perfect.
But before I did, I know there's a lot of commotion with Micah Parsons, and deservedly so. I was trying to wait till after that, but I got a feeling if I wait too long, you're just going to dump a bunch of them when the games kick off on
True.
Sunday.
Yes.
AI Dude. I'm in favor of it. My wife even likes it. She likes AI Dude better than you. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I don't either.
A lot of times I like to go 17-0 in my fake prediction, but I don't have time to mess around with that. So let's just say it's 13-4.
Wow. Got a consensus
Pittsburgh's going
going
to be
here.
tough. Philly will be tough. At Detroit, November 27th. Is that Thanksgiving? I haven't even looked it up, but that's a loss. You know, like Vince Lombardi, I hate playing in Detroit on Thanksgiving Day. And the final one, there's always some kind of a quirky loss in there, so I picked at December. So 13-4. I just want to say I've played a lot of podcasts recently at a little higher speed, and I have yours at 30% faster. You come out sounding fairly normal, but when somebody's excited like Chris from Alabama, it is just amazing. I love listening to Chris at a higher speed because he's so up-tempo to begin with. I think that's everything that I had on here. If it gets dumped, this is Wednesday evening, so if it gets dumped, I'll just call back after the game because then you'll have to listen to it. But I'm just letting you know that I'm calling it beforehand. I figure Parsons and Gary are going to get a couple of sacks between them.
Heck yeah.
And X is going to get a pick 6.
Ooh.
Go Pack, go.
Love that. By the way, Wayne in Illinois, Steve in Alaska, and Jersey Mike are making Chris from Alabama seem like a little bit of a hater. Jersey Mike, Steve in Alaska, Wayne in Illinois, 13 wins. Chris from Alabama, 12. What's going on, Chris? What are you worried about the back issue? Huh? You a Jordan Love hater? Only 12? The heck is that? This is a remarkable amount of consistency, though. It's only 4 predictions, but 12, 13, 13, and 13. And I think all 13 came, was it today? So I don't think any of you heard any of the other predictions outside of Chris. So it's not like everybody's just saying what everybody else said. None of the 13 predictions heard the other 13 predictions. So good to hear from you, Wayne, and look forward to hopefully you stick around, call back in throughout the season and whatnot. It's game time, not just for me, but for all of us.
Hey, Ryan, it's Drew from Green Bay, and there's a lot of people saying that we should sit Micah Parsons, and I'm just, one thing I want to mention is, like, I don't see this as a serious back issue. I looked into it a little bit, and it seems like something that pretty much every player on the offensive and defensive line would have, but I don't understand why people think that sitting Micah Parsons is going to make him go from, like, not being healthy to being healthy. Like, what's that 1 week gonna matter? Look,
sure.
What I read is it can be up to like a 4-week thing if it's like just a first time thing, and that if it's chronic you could play through it, but it could be like 6 to 8 weeks, and he's had it for about a month. So from when he missed his last practice, so it's like, are you prepared to sit? To those people, are you prepared to sit Micah Parsons a month? You know, are you prepared to have him sit out until after the bye week? If you're not prepared to do that, then why are you prepared to make him sit week 1? I just don't understand it.
Right.
I think it's easy to always say, yeah, just sit him 1 week, but in practicality, that doesn't necessarily change anything. So, and then I saw that there's a report out by Adam Schefter now that Micah Parsons, that the Eagles tried to trade for him, and that must have been interesting. I was wondering, do you think that's real? Do you think that's the Eagles trying to cover themselves, or do you think that's the Cowboys trying to cover themselves, saying like, hey, you know, our other option was the Eagles, so we sent them to Green Bay so we didn't have to send them to Philadelphia, and trying to get the fan base to rally around. I could see that. Obviously, that Philadelphia probably did inquire, but I'm sure, you know, Dallas's problem is that they waited to after the draft, well after the draft, after free agency and all of that, where teams kind of filled their needs and spent their money, and the Packers are a smart organization that leaves some money to roll over, and we were in position to strike, but yeah, no way would Dallas have ever traded them to Philadelphia. So anyways, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah, I don't know in terms of who that would help the most or the least as far as, saving face or leaking that report. I could see it from the Dallas standpoint, like you said. For Philly, I don't know. Maybe you could see it in terms of like, hey, we did try. It's not like we didn't. But I don't know if you want to put out a report that we tried and failed either, so I don't know. Who knows these things? But I do like, I hope that there's more and more of these, because that's at least one team that can't come out and be like, oh, it's stupid. You not even that good. Oh, yeah, you tried again too. What's that all about, dummy? So I hope that there's reports that actually it's not like, as far as the Bears, Vikings, and Lions, I hope there are not reports, because again, the guy's going to be good. And so when there's not reports, if there are, then it's haha, you didn't get him. But if there are no reports, or reports that they weren't interested, like in Chicago, that's even better. Because now you can look at it and go, wow, you are stupid. My goodness.
Hey, Ryan. And just to further elaborate on a point you had made about Caleb Williams and the offensive coordinator that they had, and not being able to carry out the offense. It's like, I'm not going to say, and I'm drawing blank, right, because it's the guy that was the Seattle coordinator. He was a quarterback's coach for the Rams, right? So he's a Sean McVay disciple. He goes over and runs kind of a middle-of-the-pack defense, but, like, he's not running, like, some high-brain, like, top offense, but that guy has a coaching tree. The current head coach for the Carolina Panthers, he got hired as a quarterback's coach from Seattle to go to Tampa Bay as an OC, and then he got hired as a head coach. So it's like, not like we're talking about somebody who's just like some worthless. Like, even he has a coaching tree. He's got a more pronounced offensive coaching tree than Matt LaFleur does.
Yeah.
And that's probably not saying much, but it's, like, they're acting like they had the 32nd like worst offensive coordinator, and really it probably says more that you probably had the 16th, the exact middle offensive coordinator in the NFL, and this is what Caleb was able to do with it, because he didn't elevate the offense. He played down to the 25th offense.
Correct.
If he had somebody like...
By the way, everything you're saying is everything that I've been saying, and we're both going to be very vindicated very soon. We already have been, but come Tuesday-ish, maybe, we got to obviously cover this game thoroughly and all that. Big report, if you haven't seen it, came out about Caleb Williams. I have only skimmed it, and I don't know if there's more coming out. There's a part 1 and a part 2 that I know of. But it is viciously bad about Caleb Williams. Bears fans are losing their mind, either panicked about how bad the report is, or obviously doing what a lot of us did when Tyler Dunn, who wrote this, did his bombshell Aaron Rodgers report, myself included, which is to say this guy is a douche, he's a hack, all of his sources are unsourced, and this is unreliable, blah, 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 blah. And then you come to learn a little bit more about Aaron Rodgers, and you're like, all right, that all kind of checks out, actually. So we'll see how it goes, but boy, oh boy, do I hope the reports are true, because if they are, this Caleb Williams thing, pending Ben Johnson working miracles, going to be a freaking disaster, and it makes Ryan Poles look like a complete piece of garbage, which is also great. I mean, he is. He always has been. But it's all the better.
Hey, Ryan, Beer Cheese Benny.
Yeah.
No, I was talking to my boss, or just texting him, really, and I was like he's talking about Campbell. He's a great motivator, but he's not an offensive coach, so their OC, better be honest thing. I was like, well, I really don't think so. Dan Campbell hasn't really made a bad hire yet. I mean, he hired a guy who's going to keep the same play style and calling, and, he kind of just said that Ben Johnson is McVay, Shanahan level, and the OC will be fine.
again, maybe, but I don't really get, I don't know. I don't know that I necessarily believe that. We'll have to see, right? I mean, we saw what McVay and Shanahan did. Well, at least with Shanahan. I don't know if we knew anything really about McVay when he became a head coach, but he got there and did magical things as a head coach. Shanahan we knew from Atlanta, right? The things that were done there. He obviously did it as a head coach. I am just, and maybe it's unfair skepticism because I don't know if anybody can make that Bears offense look good. So I may be doing unjust victory laps if it doesn't work. I don't know. Maybe, if it mattered more, I could go back and watch Detroit's offense a little bit closer. I guess I just don't know how many people have actually really studied this offense, people that know the offense and aren't just saying things because it's the thing to say. So the thing that I can't stand about a lot of these tape watchers is I feel like I can't trust any of them, even former football players, because they do what everybody else does. They form a decision, Ben Johnson is a genius, then they go back and find plays that look creative, and they say, look at how genius he is. Look at this play, and that's the genius of Ben Johnson. But that's not how you do it, bro. Would anybody have the integrity to come out and you know, any of these guys on ESPN or NFL Network or whatever, go back to watch Ben Johnson and decide that he's not, and then come out on there and be like, I just don't think he's actually that good. I don't think anybody would do that. But anyways, we'll see. It seems to be pretty unanimous, so there's probably some people mixed in that actually know what they're talking about and actually have integrity and actually are honest and actually think critically about it in terms of, you know, would this work in a different situation? Can he be aggressive and do all these things just because, like, they're actually asking these questions and answering these questions and have determined that, yes, he is a absolute brilliant human being. I don't know, especially down the stretch when he started doing some aggressive stuff that everybody kind of called him out for being stupid. And they're like, dude, this is going to kill you in the postseason if you pull this crap. And it did. The fact that they kept trying to get offensive linemen touchdowns and it failed like 7 times in a row. Like, that just doesn't seem like genius to me. That seems like pretty simple stuff that a kid could draw up that you just keep doing and it works because you have a good offense. I don't know. I never was super impressed by it. Oh, look at the run game. Yeah, no kidding. You got an early first-round pick running back behind an offensive line that I could run through. Frickin' whoop-de-doo. Any idiot with a Madden controller could push square X circle and call whatever frickin' play, and it's going to work.
Well, he's not Ben Johnson, and you know, I said anyone can scheme guys wide open. It's a matter if you move the pieces around the right way or not. I have no idea who the hell John Morton is, but that's the Lions OC. And, you know, I mentioned to him it's all about creating mismatches, route combos, timing of personnel, formation, motion, misdirection, all those things, to scheming guys wide open. I was like, you know, pay attention to any team. There's guys wide open every play. You know, it's just a matter if the QB recognizes it and if the timing is right with everything. And he disagrees with me. And
I mean, probably not every play. There's some disaster plays out there, but there's certainly opportunity, even if they're tough ones, and that's kind of what separates, you know, I mean, there's, if you look at it in terms of talent levels at quarterbacks, really bad quarterbacks are going to have wide open guys and they don't see it. Good quarterbacks will, you know, see the open guys and they'll throw an accurate ball to the open guys. They're maybe not going to either see some of the tougher ones or throw some of the tough ones. And then the truly elite guys are the ones that they see everything. You know, they see the throw that isn't even there yet. They can communicate and direct. They can throw the pass that you're not supposed to throw, but I can fit it in there. Or, you know, I know that this guy's his, you know, you misdirect the safety with your eyes because if I can pull him down for just a second, I can throw it over those little things where you create just enough space for me to get in there. That's one of those things where it's like, I don't know what anybody could have done. And it's like, well, you put a really good quarterback in there and they could have made it work, believe it or not. But, yeah, that's maybe with a little bit of a tweak on that take. I tend to agree.
He just said that, you know, I guess Ben Johnson is just another guy. And I'm like, well, I never said that. I said anyone can scheme guys wide open, and everyone does, but not everyone does it good enough. So I just wanted to get your thoughts about that? Like,
I don't know. I mean, I know some guys are better than others. I mean, you just compare Mike McCarthy's offense to Matt LaFleur's offense. I feel like I never saw anybody open in Mike McCarthy's offense, and it felt like that wasn't really their intention, to scheme guys wide open. It was raw power offense, and that's what Aaron Rodgers liked. It was, we need receivers that are good enough to, in other words, we could just tell the defense the play, but we want to have receivers that are going to win on the route and a quarterback that can make just a perfect play that can't be defended. That was the way that the offense worked. Doesn't matter. That you can't defend it is the point. Matt LaFleur wants to confuse and misdirect and do all that kind of stuff to scheme people open. And, a couple points I've made before. I've never seen so many guys open on third down, especially third down with the Mike McCarthy offenses. Nobody's ever open on third down. That is one of those things where your quarterback, and that's part of the reason we all loved Aaron Rodgers, is because he would throw just these laser pinpoint perfect passes that are, if he's not, an elite quarterback, we don't convert any third downs ever. We have no run game, and nobody's ever open, and Rodgers made that work all the time. That's why he was freaking goated. But yeah, Matt LaFleur, guys are open a lot. They're open consistently on third down, and I don't know why we don't run outs every play, because I've never seen a guy run an out that isn't open. I've said that consistently, and I've never been, I haven't seen one that didn't work. Maybe a bad throw or a drop or something, but in terms of, that was covered up, it just doesn't happen. So I don't know what they're doing, but I feel like I still have that McCarthy thing in my head where I'm thinking, like, 3rd and 7, like, this isn't going to work. Nobody's going to be open, and I don't really have the faith in Jordan like I had in Rodgers, and I don't have the faith in any of our receivers like I did in Devontae or Jordy or any of those guys, so it's like, this just isn't going to work. And sure enough, he sets up in the pocket, and you can tell when he's about to throw, and that always makes you feel good. When he gets set, and he's bouncing, and then he kind of like goes to his next read, it's like, oh no, there's nobody open. But when he kind of, does his 3-step drop and he starts to pass the ball and you can see his shoulders like he's throwing, like, oh, he sees something. He's got a bite. And sure enough, there's a guy open. Like, how do you do that? So I do think some are better than others, and I think some schemes are more built for that than others. But where I would agree with you is I don't really have any doubt that Ben Johnson knows how to get guys open. My concern is it going to matter? I mean, they've had guys that could do that in the past. Of course, no Bears fan will ever admit that. They'll say we've had a string of about 19 coaches, and none of them know how to get anybody open. Of course, that's not true. That's nonsense. The question is, can you execute it? Can your receivers execute it? Can your offensive line, your tight ends, your quarterback especially, can they execute it? That's what I'm skeptical of.
I don't know. To me, I see it where if you look at any play, any team, any game, guys are wide open all the time, man. Guys can get team open. It's just all a matter if you have the right matchups and stuff. If you're recognizing that thing, like some coordinators are better at it than others, and some teams have the more right pieces to do it. So I just wanted to either be validated or proven wrong by what I'm saying here. But I mean, I think honestly, dude, the Lions aren't going to be much different, man. They're going to run similar stuff because Campbell's going to want that because it obviously worked for them. I mean, sure, they might have like a few different things, but I don't know, man. Let me know what you think.
Well, again, a couple things. There is an expectation generally, no matter what, of regression. When you have that many wins, you're not expected to have that many wins again. So they should drop off a little bit for that reason. There are concerns from my perspective on the offensive line. And then the coordinators do factor in. But again, I don't think it's necessarily as much of how elite, especially the defensive coordinator. I don't know that. I've heard other people even talk about that. Like, are we calling him a great defensive coordinator? I don't know. I guess. It's hard to know because they sucked, but also they had a lot of injuries. But I don't know that you give a guy a lot of credit for that. Whatever. But anyways, it has more to do with, are these guys potentially not great at it? I mean, we see that stuff all the time. Even Ben Johnson. He might be a great offensive coordinator, but a terrible head coach. It's entirely possible. And same with these guys. I mean, Whether Ben Johnson is a genius or not, if you're not calling the right plays at the right time, if you're not coming up with the right game plans going into these things, which I think is another major factor that doesn't get talked about enough. Everybody talks about, their play calling. And really, I think what they mean a lot of times is play design, not even the play calling. It's like, ooh, that was a cool design on that play. That was tricky, and that's how I know you're a genius. I think a lot of genius comes down to making sure you know what offensive play or defensive play to call situationally, and then game plan going into it. I mean, a lot of teams, they lose before they ever get off the bus because the plan that was devised sucked. So that would be more my concern as far as the, less about, oh, they're a genius and they can draw up, the annexation of Puerto Rico on the board and all that kind of stuff. But, I'm bottom line, I'm not going into this Detroit game with a massive amount of confidence. I'm going into this saying, it's a coin flip game. I'm as confident the Packers are going to win as I am that I flip a coin, it's going to be tails, despite the fact that it never fails. You just don't know. All right, we got 3 beer cheese to rip through here.
Was that I think the Lions are not going to be any different. And whether it's effective or not, I don't know. But what I'm saying is that they're still going to be aggressive, and they're still going to do all this trick play bull crap. And, I just don't see it. I don't see, how hard is it to, do kind of the same stuff. Dan Campbell knows the stuff. Ben Johnson's gone, but, he has a lot of influence on this. I know what they're going to do. But I'm not too worried about it.
You're breaking up a little bad, and I don't know if anyone's going to be able to fully understand that. Let's get to the next call from Beer Cheese.
Sorry, Ryan. I'm calling back again, finishing up what I was talking about. My point was...
Beer Cheese!
But it's not...
All right, final call from Beer Cheese. What's going on?
Ryan, Beer Cheese Benny here. I need an errant grievance that I have.
Okay.
Okay, buddy? Pal? Guy?
Yep.
Why is it that all these people that call in, including myself, we say go Pack go, and you never say it back. Say it back, please.
I don't think I'm going to do it. I just don't think I'm going to do it. I don't know why. It seems, I don't want to disparage it because you guys say it. I don't know. But I don't think I'm going to say it. I think I've probably said it to end the podcast a couple times, but it just feels, I don't have a problem saying it to me, but when we converse in that way, it's yeah, go Pack go, buddy. I don't know. Anybody know what I mean? Probably not. I got a weird thing about stuff, I guess. It reminds me of I don't know, when you're 7 and you got the treehouse password or something. Go Pack go to you too, pal. I don't know. I'm too much of a, what do you call it, contrarian or whatever. Don't like doing stuff because everybody else does it and it's the cool thing. Come on, we all do it. It's cool. It's well, then I'm not doing it. That's why I want to punch everybody in the face that says carry the G. Should we carry the G? Should we carry the G? Oh, look, they're carrying the G. Oh, look, he did something great. He's definitely carrying the G, guys. I'll beat you with a frickin' hockey stick, bro. How about that? Carry the G. This is the lamest crap ever. I can't handle it. You know what it's like? Growing up, we didn't really go to church very much. And we didn't do very churchy things in my household. And we're going to get super deep here for a second, but it's an analogy and I can't not do analogies. Dad turned his life around, started kind of trying to navigate his way through churches and whatnot. And of course, the first church he found was the mega church down the street from us, Willow Creek in Illinois. Big, massive church. And he took me there, and it was the most miserable experience of my life. I went there, and I listened to grown men give their quote-unquote sermons, and they would fake cry all the time. When they talked, it was like they were crying. Yeah. But they weren't crying. There's no tears, bro. And I don't know why you want to cry anyways. Why are you crying all the time? And then there was a teen event, and my dad took me over there, and he's like, yeah, why don't you go over here? And I'm not kidding. These are 17, 18-year-olds, my age. They're playing tag and having pillow fights. And I looked at my dad, I'm like, I'm not doing that. And he was just kind of yeah, that's fine. You can come with me. What are you doing? So I'm in no way bothered by people saying go Pack go. I have a problem with reciprocating it. And I'm hoping there's at least one person out there that understands what I'm talking about. I doubt that there is, but I need somebody to back me up on that. Hey, go Pack go. Yeah, go Pack go to you too, buddy. I don't know. I don't know. I can't explain it, but I'm never doing it, okay? Just know that. It just feels... Again, I don't want to say, because then everyone's going to be like, oh, I better not say that around him. He's going to get all crabby. It just feels, in a very appropriate way, it feels cheesy. And I don't think I'll ever be able to get myself to do it. All right?
This bothers the hell out of me. Is anybody else bothered by this? Please, somebody call in and agree with me.
No. You call in and agree with me. Fine. Call in and decide who you're going to agree with.
Okay. I live in South Carolina. When I see somebody that has Packer gear on, I'm like, go Pack go. And if they don't say it back, that pisses me off. I'm glad they're a Packers fan, but
I wouldn't say it back. Like so I do the thing. I go down to Disney or Florida or whatever. I got a Packers thing on. Surprisingly, good amount of Packer fans. Either they're wearing the gear or they'll be like, "Hey, bro, nice shirt," or "Go Pack go." I'm not gonna say "Go Pack go," but that's like. Here's the thing: if you say "Go Pack go" to somebody wearing a shirt, again, I can't explain why. I don't know why. Please call in and tell me that you understand this. I wouldn't even mind saying "Go Pack go" as like a get your attention, like, yeah, dude, let's go. I'm not saying it back to you, though. If somebody looks at my shirt and they're like, hey, go Pack go, I'll be like, yeah, dude. Yeah, man. Go Packers. You know, I might say go Pack. I don't know. I'm not going to say go Pack go to you. What is wrong? I don't know. I can't. It's cheesy. I don't know. I don't know what else to say, Beer Cheesy Benny. I don't know what else to say, dude. That answers your question. That is the official answer to your question. I can't explain it. I've thought about it occasionally. I know that everybody says go Pack go all the time. And I've assumed that a lot of people expect me to. I know a lot of other Packer podcasters. They're always saying go Pack go, go Pack go. You guys go Pack go and have a great day and go Pack go. It's not quite that Colts guy that says, this is our Colts, this is our team, we play well. That guy, by the way, he seems like the sweetest man in the world. He should have been bullied as a kid. Somebody should have told him at some point in his life that that's not good and you shouldn't do that. And then he would make different choices in his life. Instead, we're encouraging it. Now I have to watch every week. Every week I get to hear him sing that damn song. This is our cause. This is our team. We will. Because we all gather around and applaud him and say, you're so good. Yay. No, he's not. He's annoying. Make him stop. Make him stop doing that. Don't actually make him. I don't want some psycho doing something crazy. I'm just saying the world would be a better place if everybody just said, bro, don't do that anymore, please, okay? Sing that in your room, not in front of a microphone with the door closed. If I hear one more nay come out of that room, I'm boarding it up from the outside. But anyways, it has that kind of a feel to it. Like, yay, go team. And, yeah, go team for sure. But just not like, yay, go team. You know what I mean? Like, it's subtle. But there's a difference. I'm just digging that hole deeper. I don't know, man. I'm just telling you, I'm not saying it back to you. I'm not. I might say it to you. I might even close out a show with it if I can muster up the strength. I might do it. I will never say it as a return to your Go Pack Go. Ever. I'm not doing it.
Especially in the real fandom. Because they just say, oh, hell yeah, man. Like, yes, sir. Like, nah, say it back.
No.
Say it back.
I'm that dude. I'm the yes, sir guy. And those guys must agree with me. There's a reason that they do that. Right? There has to be. So I can't be the only one. It can't be just my psychotic frickin' brain that thinks this way. When somebody says go Pack go, there's a thing in their brain that's like, that would be lame if I said, yeah, go Pack go back. So I'm going to be like, yeah, bro. Heck yeah, Packers, man, for sure. not say, I will not for enough money I would, but I'm not saying it.
I don't like that. Guys, can we please just, or at least do it at the end of the episode, Ryan?
See?
Can you at least be like, all right, we'll talk to you tomorrow, tonight, whenever, go Pack Go. Like, come on, man. Please.
I know I've done that before, and it was a deliberate, as a podcaster, you probably should say the thing that fans say, like the common Packers greeting, you should say that. But I don't want to. I don't know why. I have no idea. This is our cause. I'm going to make you listen to it. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, go find it. I'll play it right now. I'll make you listen to it. In fact, that might be the song for today. I got some ideas now. I should go to bed, but this has got me excited now. That was the last call, so I knew whatever I want now. Oop, I'm in trouble. Getting to that point, I gotta hurry. Well, now it's out there. Now you know. For anybody that's been wondering, I'm a psychopath. I don't know, but I know I'm not alone in that. So go ahead, call in, say Beer Cheese is right. You're a freak. You're weird. But I know that somebody out there gets it, and I would appreciate some backup on this, because even I feel like I'm certainly in the wrong on this one, but I don't care. I'm putting my foot down. It's like in the UK where there's a lot of things they say that are stupid. It's like, no, dude, it's not aluminium, it's aluminum, right? Z compared to Z, not even close. We are correct in that. They say herbs instead of herbs. They're probably correct. There's a frickin' H in front of it. You know what I mean? I'll give you that one. I'm not changing how I say it, though. It's like when people start pronouncing countries all like from the region. Like, oh, do you see what's going on over there in Iraq? Like, you mean Iraq? Bro, I'm not calling it Iraq. I don't live in Iraq, and I don't speak whatever language they are that makes it sound like Iraq. So why would I say Iraq when I live in America? I'm going to pronounce it like an American and say Iraq. Could you imagine if we did that with every word that's not, like, fundamentally American? Can't decide if I want some pizza or tacos. Why are you doing that, Mark? Maybe I'll have some sushi. Stop it. Iraq. Anyways, these little rants are exactly how I lose 500 listeners, but also, like, harden the ones that are here that appreciate me. Like, yeah, dude. Yeah. Best episode you've ever done. I don't know. All right, I'm going to make your stupid song now. I'm going to make you listen to it. Don't leave. Don't leave. Beer Cheese made this happen by calling me out on this Go Pack Go nonsense. So have a great day and Go Pack Go.